Clean and unclean food, part 1. Leviticus 11, verse 1. The Lord said to Moses and Aaron, say to the Israelite, of all the animals that live on the land, these are the ones you may eat. You may eat any animal that has a split hoof completely divided and that chew the cud. I know there's a lot of people that saying we're not supposed to eat meat. But according to the Bible, it says you may eat any animal that has a split hoof completely divided and that chew the cud. So whoever's telling you that you cannot eat meat and things like that, that's a lie. The Bible clearly says that you can eat, but if eating meat is causing your health, your peace and everything, then don't eat it. But the Bible does give us right to eat meat. Clean and unclean food, part 2. Leviticus 11, verse 4 through 6. There are some that only chew the cud or only have a split hoof, but you must not eat them. The camel, though it chew the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is ceremonially unclean for you. The coney, though it chew the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is unclean for you. The rabbit, though it chew the cud, does not have a split hoof. It is unclean for you. God have a reason why he's giving you these animals not to eat, because you are a human being and you don't know what these when you eat their meat, what they are doing to your body. So to prevent some type of disease and things like that, don't do it. Clean and unclean food for you, part 3. Leviticus 11, verse 7. In the pig, though it has a split hoof completely divided, does not chew the cud, it is unclean for you. You must not eat their meat or touch their carcasses, they are unclean for you. Pork bacon, pepperoni, sausage, salami, anything that has to do with pork, ham, put it down. Especially if you suffer from high blood pressure or any type of disease, put it down, because the pig do not chew the cud even though it has a split hoof. Okay, we all know pork tastes different than any other meat, but it's not good for you. I know when I used to eat bacon, it caused a lot of mucus on my lungs. So stop it. Do not hurt yourself. Clean and unclean food for you, part 4. Leviticus 11, verse 9. Of all the creatures living in the water, of the seas and in the streams, you may eat any that have fins and scales. They gotta have both fins and scales. For example, the salmon, the herring, the bonito fish, the bony fish, cod, halibut, flounder, bass, mackerel, mahi fish, tuna, sardines. These are some example of fishes that have fins and scales. Those are good for you. God is telling you that to protect you from toxics and poisons that are in these things that does not have fins and scales. So listen to the Bible and eat things that have fins and scales. God is the creator of all things. So if he tells you not to eat something, do not eat it, because he created your body. He knows what's good for it. He knows what's not good for it. So if he's telling you to eat things that have fins and scales on them, it's because he knows the other things that don't have it, they can create harmful diseases and illnesses for you and cause more problems and drama for you in the future. Okay, there's a lot of diseases out here that people are suffering from. They don't know where it's coming from. It might be the things that you are eating. The Bible is telling you fins and scales, nothing else. If they don't have it, don't eat it. Point blank, period. It's clear as day. Clean and unclean food for you, part 5. Leviticus 11, verse 10. But all the creatures in the seas or streams that do not have fins and scales, whether among the swarming things or among all the living creatures in the water, you are to detest. And since you are to detest them, you must not eat their meat, and you must detest their carcasses. Anything in the water that does not have fins and scale is to be distasteful to you. So the Bible is going deeper, and you not even touching their meat. If they don't even have scales or fins, do not even touch their dead body. Do not touch their carcasses. You must not like them, detest them, which means don't mess with them, don't like them, don't eat them, okay? Clean and unclean food for you, part 6. Leviticus 11, verse 10. For example, do not eat those that do not have fins and scales. For example, octopus, shrimp, lobster, crabs. According to Google, catfish, crayfish, crawfish, shellfish, not selfish, lobster, mussels, shark, sturgeons, swordfish, clams, crabs, squid, caterpillars, cockroaches, spiders. Do not eat these things that do not have fins and scales according to the Bible. God is trying to protect you from toxics and poisons that are in the ocean. He created everything. He knows what's in them. He knows what they're going to cause, do to your body. So do not eat them. Some of you are still trying to figure out why some of you have holes in your heart when you are born, have infertility issues, have heart problem, underdeveloped organs of your child, or suffer from blindness, death, high blood pressure, kidney failure, eye disease. You guys are still trying to figure out why are these things, the diseases, these kids are born like that. It's probably the food that you are eating. I know a lot of people that like shrimp and lobster and crabs and stuff like that. You guys, the Bible says fins and scales. I keep saying fans. Fins and scales. I think I'm saying it right. If I'm not saying it right, y'all get what I'm saying. Go to Leviticus 11, verse 10, and read it for yourself. God created you. He knows what's good for you. So follow the Bible. Clean and unclean food for you, part 7. Leviticus 11, verse 13. These are the birds you are to detest and not eat because they are detestable: the eagle, the vulture, the black vulture, the red kite, any kind of black kite, any kind of raven, the horned owl, the screech owl, the gull, any kind of hawk. These are some of the birds y'all may not eat. Who want to eat a vulture? Everybody know what a vulture eat. He eats roadkill. Anything that's killed, that's dead, that's what they eat. So God has his reason of why he's telling you do not eat these birds, because they will cause harm to your body. So listen to what the Bible's saying. Clean and unclean food for you, part 8. Leviticus 11, verse 17. Part of the birds that you must detest: the little owl, the cormorant, the great owl, the white owl, the desert owl, the osprey, the stork, any kind of heron, the hopoe, and the bat. I hope I said those names right. So all these birds are also part of birds you must not eat. Do not touch their carcasses. God have his reason of why he tell you do not eat those things. Who want to eat a bat? Come on now. Who want to eat an owls? Like, no, do not eat these things at all. They are probably causing things to your body that only God knows about. So listen to the Bible. Clean and unclean food for you, part 9. Leviticus 11, verse 20. All flying insects that walks on all four legs are distasteful to you. For example, the mantis, the brush, the footed butterfly, the water strider, giant water beetle, cicadas, or octera, garlic four-legged mites. Those are not good for you. You should not eat these four-legged things. There's more. You could Google it, but the Bible is saying all flying things that walk on all four legs are distasteful to you. They are causing harm to your body. Listen to when God is speaking to you and stop eating every single thing on this earth. They're everything. Clean and unclean food for you, part 10. Leviticus 11, verse 21. There are, however, some winged creatures that walk on all four legs that you may eat. Those that have jointed legs for hopping on the ground. Of those you may eat any kind of locust, katydid, cricket, or grasshoppers. But all other winged creatures that have four legs you are to detest. So I was shocked when I saw cricket and grasshoppers. I was like, OMG. So the Bible is saying you can eat cricket and grasshoppers and other things. The Bible said it, so go read it for yourself. You could eat these things that are four-legged creatures. Anything else, they are not good for you. Clean and unclean food for you, number 11. Leviticus 11, verse 27. Of all the animals that walk on all fours, those that walk on their paws are unclean for you. Whoever touches their carcasses will be unclean till evening. Anyone who pick up their carcasses must wash their clothes and be unclean until evening. They are unclean for you. Things that walk on their paws are cats, dogs, raccoons, bears, weasels, mice, rodents, foxes, wolves, rabbits, tigers, bobcats, and many more. These things walk on their four paws, so do not eat them. Clean and unclean food for you. Leviticus 11, verse 29. Of all the animals that move about on the ground, these are unclean for you. The weasel, the rat, any kind of great lizard, the gecko, the monitor lizard, the wall lizard, the skink, and the chameleon. Chameleon. I hope I said that right. Of all those that move along the ground, these are unclean for you. Whoever touches them when they are dead will be unclean till evening. The lizard that I just mentioned, God is saying do not eat them. Okay, I don't know who eat lizard, but do not eat lizard. Okay, that's what the Bible said. He said what he said, and just listen, because these things might be poison for your body. They might cause a disruption to your system. So do not eat these things that I just mentioned. Okay? When one of them dies and falls on something, that article Whatever is used will be unclean. Whether it is made of wood, cloth, hide, or sackcloth, put it in water, it will be unclean till evening, and then it will be clean. If one of them fall into a clay pot, everything in it will be unclean, and you must break the pot. Any food that can be eaten but has water on it from such a pot is unclean. And any liquid that could be drunk from it's unclean. Anything that one of their carcasses falls on becomes unclean. An oven or cooking pot must be broken up. They are unclean, and you are to regard them as unclean. A spring, however, or a cistern for collecting water remains clean, but anyone who touches one of these carcasses is unclean. It's just like when you're about to eat. Even though the plate is clean, don't you wash your plate? Just in case it has some dust on there. Like you wash your cup before you drink it, and you wash the plate before you put food on it. So it's the same way I can like compare it, because God is saying if anything falls, if the lizard fall in those things, they are unclean until evening. So listen to the Bible. The Bible knows the best. It's the Old Testament, but still, we still practice it till this day. You still wash your pot before you cook. You still wash your cup and plates before you cook. So to me, that's the same custom that we are using and doing. God has his reason of saying why these things are unclean, because we don't know if the lizards have certain things on them, some poison, toxics on them, or in them that can harm you. So he gave you instructions, follow them. Clean and unclean food for you, part 14. Leviticus 11, verse 37. If a carcass falls on any seeds that are to be planted, they remain clean. But if water has been put on the seed and the carcass falls in it, it is unclean for you. So to the farmers, if you are planting like seeds, or people that do their own gardening, right? If the seeds, a lizard falling on it, it remains clean according to the Bible. But if you are about to water those garden items with the water while a lizard fell in it or it died in it, do not water your plant with that water. It's already contaminated by those lizards I mentioned. Yeah, so that's what it says. If a carcass falls on any seeds that are to be planted, they remain clean. But if water has been put on the seed and the carcass fall on it, it is unclean for you. It is unclean for you, for your body, because it's poisoned already. Clean and unclean food for you, number 15. Leviticus 11, verse 39. If an animal that you are allowed to eat dies, anyone who touches the carcass will be unclean till evening. Anyone who eats some of the carcass must wash his clothes, and he will be unclean till evening. Anyone who pick up the carcass must wash his clothes, and he will be unclean till evening. This is tricky for us, especially us in America, because we don't know how the chicken died. We don't know how the cow died, how the anything died, okay? We just pick the meat in the store and go home, okay? So according to the Bible, we shouldn't eat any animal that is dead. In the sense of, if you did not kill it yourself, you should not eat it. So that is really tricky, because we don't know if the chicken died from, a sickness or by accident. We don't know what happened to the cow. If the cow was sick and then it died, and then they just was like, okay, we still gonna sow the meat to the people, whether the cow was sick or the cow was not sick. So we do not know, like, really what goes on with the meat department in America, unless, like, the farmers um knows what's going on. But us, the consumers, like, we don't know that, but that's why you gotta pray on your food. Pray on your food and give it all to God, because God sees, He knows, and He understands, like, what's going on. Okay? Clean and unclean food for you, part 16, Leviticus 11, verse 41. Every creature that moves about on the ground is detestable. It is not to be eaten. Okay? So, for example, animals that move along the ground are worms. Do not eat worms. Snails, slugs, gastropods, stomach foot insect. I never heard of that one. Spiders, centipedes, millipedes, snakes. Did I say snakes? Snakes. Do not eat snakes. Turtles, lizard, crocodiles, frogs, toads, salamanders, and roaches. These are some examples of stuff that I pull off Google that moves along the ground. Okay? So do not eat these things. Okay? They are not good for you. You hear it, so apply it. You didn't know? That's cool. Now you know, do better. Okay? Clean and unclean food for you, part 17, Leviticus 11, verse 42. You are not to eat any creature that moves about on the ground, whether it moves on its belly or walks on all fours or many feet. It is detestable. Do not defile yourself by any of these creatures. Do not make yourself unclean by means of them, or be made unclean by them. I am the Lord your God. Consecrate yourself and be holy, because I am holy. Do not make yourself unclean by any creature that moves about on the ground. I am the Lord who brought you out of Egypt to be your God. Therefore be holy, because I am holy. So animals that moves on the ground, or that walk on their paws and things like that, roaches, snakes move on their belly. Roaches got a lot of legs. Y'all should not be eating roaches. Centipedes, I don't know how people eat centipedes and millipedes. Ew. So these things have a lot of feet. The Bible is clearly warning you, do not eat these things. Whether they walk on paws, whether they have many feet, or crawl on their bellies, do not eat them. He is trying to protect you from harm. Clean and unclean food for you, final. Leviticus 11, verse 46. These are the regulations concerning animals, birds, and every living thing that moves in the water, and every creature that moves about on the ground. You must distinguish between the unclean and the clean, between the living creatures that may be eaten and those that may not be eaten. So God is giving you instructions in Leviticus 11 all the way from 1 through 46. And he give you instructions of what type of meat you should eat, what type of seafood you should eat, what type of birds, what type of insects you should eat, and things like that. He's giving you all these instructions for your own good because he knows your body. He created it. He created these animals. He knows what he put in these animals. He knows the things that he put in them is gonna hurt you. So he put all these things in place for you to follow. And people will be like, oh, it's the Old Testament. We don't have to follow it. You still do. You still do. Just like I told y'all, you could eat meat. The Bible is not saying you cannot eat meat. But if the meat is harming you, it's harming your body, it's causing your blood pressure to go up or things like that, don't eat it. But the Bible do give us the right to eat meat, certain meat. As far as pork, he don't want us eating no pork. If it don't have no a huff and chew the card and things like that, he don't want you to eat that because it's bad for you. Y'all don't see when y'all eat all that pork and things like that, y'all be having a lot of mucus on y'all lungs, because that's what it do to me. And he don't want you to be eating all these, crabs and lobsters and shrimp and stuff like that. They do not have fins or scales. God said you must eat stuff that have fins and scales. Okay? Did I say fans again? Fins? Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Yeah, he's saying that for a reason. Yes, they taste good. I mean, I'm not a big shrimp fan, but I have eaten shrimp. I have eaten crabs, but you know what I'm saying? I know better now. I'm not preaching to you because I haven't done it. I have done it. You know what I'm saying? So he's giving you all these instructions. Follow them. The things that he tells you not to eat, don't eat it. The things that he tell you to eat it. And even if he tell you to eat it, but it don't go well with your body, then don't eat it. It's simple. Okay? So all these clean and unclean things are good, are God instructions for you to follow. Listen, these are not from me. These are from the Holy Bible itself, and I'm giving y'all evidence as I go of where I find it. Leviticus will tell you a whole bunch of things. You just gotta open it. Open it. If you question anything, open the Bible. God will give you an answer. It's simple. Like, comment, subscribe to my channel, because over here it's on and popping. Bye.